What's up guys, this is Project, and this video is going to be different from my usual videos, but I gotta express my feelings on this issue regarding Nioh, which not only is affecting the amount of build videos I can or will upload going forward, but more importantly, my fun with the game, which is all but dwindled to zero for the most part, because of many issues, but most importantly this issue in particular. And that issue, which I'm sure many of you can also share as followers of my builds or builders yourselves, is Ethereals, the highest rarity that is drop only in Way of the Wise, the hardest difficulty of the newest DLC. For me, Ethereals have ruined the fun in making builds for the endgame. While they're the main issue, I have to talk a bit on what catalyzes this begrudgment towards them, so just hear me out. The game, more so the DLCs, continue to add to the repetitiveness of the game, and I've done little to improve or prevent that repetitiveness each new DLC. Way of the Wise is more of the same, as was Way of the Demon, but this time weeding out more potential builds or players in general than Way of the Demon did due to the insane damage bosses or even small normal enemies can deal, or their sky-high defense, or the many annoying buffs they always possessed. Way of the Demon had similar problems, but not quite to this extreme, so it's no surprise we saw an even bigger drop in player base than Way of the Demon did. However, Way of the Demon still had Divines as the best in slot equipment, so your old Divines you obtained and worked for in Way of the Strong, otherwise known as New Game Plus, was still usable. You kept your stats, you kept your set bonuses that were still usable, all you had to do was upgrade them. What Way of the Demon suffered, however, was hardly doing anything new, almost copy-pasting of New Game Plus but just harder. There were barely any new sets, and those of which they did add were mostly bad, coupled with the fact that you had to beat the difficulty the same exact way you beat New Game Plus, which is nearly going through all the missions of the first 3 regions to proceed to the 4th, then repeat this for the most of the missions in the 4th to go into the 5th, etc, etc. Content you've already played, for the most part aside new red enemies, that you've done for 2 difficulties already, that is, Way of the Samurai and Way of the Strong. You'd beat the new content added in the DLC in less than 2 hours on Way of the Strong, then commence repeating what you've done 2 times already, that is, going into and reaching the final region of the new difficulty. Then comes Way of the Wise and the second DLC added last month. Same small new content slice, same new harder difficulty, same process of going through it again. But this time, much harder with equally broken bonuses players can get to try to handle the content better, funneling most builds or players in general to abuse the same mechanics nearly in every build.
But wait, this time they've added a new rarity, bro.
Really? So our Divines we worked hard to get, perfect, and level up the past 4 to 5 months since the game released are now essentially useless? That kinda sucks.
Oh, but wait, this new rarity added a ton of new bonuses to the rarities.
That's awesome. I'm sure build diversity will skyrocket with this new stuff. Oh, and they maximize stats when reforging? Awesome! Oh, and there's new and broken stats only possible on them? Okay. Maybe losing Divines isn't so bad. But oh, Ethereals are drop only. And oh, over half of the new sets they added are trash. And oh, Revenants can only drop 1 Ethereal set that's exclusive to Revenants, meaning you have to farm Revenants to get it. And oh, Revenant's drop rate is piss poor for Ethereals and is replaced with useless Divine fragments 90% of the time. And oh, Ethereals don't even guarantee full 7 slot stats on the gear pieces. This is where the rant begins. I can sympathize with people having trouble making my builds or other people's builds or building your own build, because I too have faced these problems. And I also sympathize and understand people who dropped the game completely and moved on to other games or life in general that gave them a more enjoyable experience and better use of their time. In an age, especially this year specifically, where games are constantly competing for your money and time, your game has to retain people's attention. It's got to provide a better experience than the other dozen or so games getting thrown in customers' faces. I'm sure a lot of you work, you get a 9-to-5 job, you get home, and you maybe have 3 to 4 hours to play the game. You want those hours to matter. You want those hours to be enjoyable. You want to progress. This is why Ethereals are bad, since they go against the very point of playing the super endgame. That is, making builds or setups or using other weapons and getting loot to make more stuff till the next DLC hits. That's the whole point to this endgame now for most people, and now it's simply too RNG reliant for enjoyment past making 1 or 2 builds, and the overtuned difficulty of Way of the Wise practically demands players to have optimized setups to survive or take down enemies and bosses in a reasonable manner. Ethereals are too RNG reliant. Too much grind in the game so great, were ruined by many repetitive and grinding aspects, as well as silly balance issues. So, I've already pinpointed the problems with Ethereals earlier, saying they're drop only, no guaranteed 7 slots, revenants limited to 1 exclusive set, etc, etc. Now I'll cover some of those points in more detail, but also how easily this can all be fixed in a patch to make the endgame of Way of the Wise a more enjoyable experience. So, Team Ninja, if you're stalking me in my videos for potential stuff to nerf like some people think, then listen up, as this is something you really have to fix ASAP if you want people to continue playing your endgame at all, but most importantly, have fun with their time in the endgame and not stress over spending hours yet not getting what they're trying to farm for. So let's start. Ethereals are the best in-slot gear for endgame, meaning they are superior to Divines statistically at a base level and stat-wise, since the strongest stats in the game, nullified damage and attack times 2, are found only on them, aside a certain set and spirit. But also, reforging or tempering stats on Ethereals also gives you the max or near max stat bonuses for stats. So there's almost 0 point in using Divines. If you have a Divine gear piece and the same piece in Ethereal rarity, there's 0 points in using the Divine. So Divines are effectively dead as Ethereals kill Divines in a 1-to-1 comparison. So again, what everyone had before DLC that they had months to perfect and use is essentially useless eventually after you replace them with better Ethereals. Your time and work put into those Divines effectively useless. Now, despite their superiority over Divines, Ethereals are RNG riddled from head to toe. They're drop only. Why the hell are they drop only? This eradicates the purpose of gathering smithing techs used to forge gear in every other rarity. You know, smithing techs, the thing we used to grind for a bit so we can forge gear to make builds more easily and faster forever on out? Yeah, that is useless for Ethereals, time wasted. To add salt to wound, despite being drop only, they're rare to get. You mostly just get useless Divines. This echoes for Revenant farming as well. You'd maybe get 1 Ethereal every 10 or so graves. Even with 500 to 600 or more luck, farming Marabashi or Hyakuagyo, you'd be lucky to get more than 3 Ethereals a run. Which leads to the next problem, the exclusive set bonuses themselves. While some few are among the best in the game, like Susanoo or Amaterasu, most of them are complete crap and made to be complete crap, I suspect, since it's obvious they threw trash stats clogging up the actual decent bonuses you want, requiring you to get 7 pieces or 6 with Yasukani to get the actual good thing about the set. And yes, I'm talking about the useless elemental sets, which account for a majority of the ethereal sets. And here they are, separated into categories of effectiveness in comparison to other top stuff, hence why Tsukiyomi is also listed in the trash tier, since I have made an Omnio build with it, and it sucked still in Way of the Wise, and even in Way of the Demon for the most part. I also think the set is mediocre in general and could have been, and should have been, way better considering the power of other sets, and compared to Kunai version Iga set, you need 7 pieces for less Omnio recovered, while Iga gives you near 50% outright with just 1 piece equipped, and can be divine and forged easily. But the point in listing these this way is not to review the sets, is to look at the odds and why it makes for more RNG to get the set you're looking for. Not counting Futsunushi, whenever an ethereal drops, you have 3 out of 8 or 37.5% chance of getting a good Grace of bonus, which then becomes a 1 out of 8 or 12.5% chance at getting the set you need. Those are low chances, and this chance is applied to every gear piece you pick up, so more rare and harder gear to find, like Bloodstained Cleaver or Shiranui or Casting Speed Helm, all make things much harder to get what you want. So this is why ethereals are such a pain. It's mostly this reason: RNG of getting the drop you want, RNG of getting the grace you want, and for weapons, RNG of getting full 7th slot, or RNG of getting a star effect if your build benefits from that. And you repeat this for every other piece. It's crazy. And to top it off, you can't even get other grace bonuses from Revenants besides Futsunushi, so there goes that aid of getting gear as well. And oh, you can't farm for specific graces from specific locations or enemies like normal set bonuses, it's literally just RNG of finding them. Now, older set bonuses that only apply on specific gear, those ethereals are fine I feel for the most part. While rare, you generally can farm them from the boss or enemy they usually come from, though some sets like Fnatic or Tatanashi fall into the RNG fest as the other grace of ethereals, and it's this whole lottery constantly in Way of the Wise is what killed my enjoyment for the endgame, and I'm sure many others. And they also didn't add anything new to older weapons, as far as new skills to freshen up the experience, so the endgame of getting new fun entirely falls on ethereals for new setups or playstyle potential, unless you want to make the same old builds with the same old setups as he did for the first DLC. So this is my problem with the game's endgame state right now, and I'm sure a lot of you can attest to it. I read nearly every comment on my videos, and I know there's plenty of people having a hard time building the builds I put out for you to make and have fun with, or have an easier time grinding out Way of the Wise content. Even some of you now are trying to build them and having a hard time, spending hours trying various methods, locations, with no luck in sight.
Hey Project, I've been farming for an Ethereal Futsunushi sword with EI star effect for days. I can't get it. How did you do it?
Hey Project, I can't seem to get Susanoo range weapons. Is there a faster way to get them?
Hey Project, I've stacked over 500 luck and I still can't get the Onikiba Kusurigama from Hanzo for a kunai build. Are you sure it drops?
Hey Project, you're a weeaboo faggot. Okay, that last one is irrelevant, but you get the idea. So, I hear the cries from the community, and the builds that I managed to put out, some I got lucky with on some pieces, but mostly I grinded just like many of you guys have grinded or are grinding towards. I get excited at all the build potential, get excited about an idea that'll be powerful or cool, but then get reminded of the dread of having to go through the grinding process yet again. But I bit my lip. I went through the hours since I have a channel to uphold. But even I have my breaking point, and I think I've reached it and had enough of this bullshit grind Team Ninja us through our way that I paid for, that we've paid for. So, how can we fix Ethereals? Well, there's multiple ways around it, but I'm going straight for the throat and listing the two best options we have and need for a no BS cure. Option 1. Make Ethereals forgeable. This is a more common idea for a fix, but this allows players to forge Ethereal rarity on specific weapon or armors of their choice, getting rid of the RNG as far as weapon or armor choice goes. This also gives smithing techs a purpose again. Some problems occur for this, however, namely you would need Ethereal fragments, a new item they would have to add in order to forge, unless they make Umbracite the currency for forging, which also has its problems given multiple tiers of Umbracite. You'd also be relying on RNG still, since the Grace of bonus would be random for non-set bonus specific gear each forge. So it's got its ups and downs. And the second option, one which I propose, is make Ethereal Grace of bonuses reforgeable. As in, you can reforge or temper Grace of bonuses like any other stat for other Grace of bonuses, including Futsunushi. I think this would be a better solution for your existing gear right now, and you also avoid the boring upgrade process of freshly forged gear. So let's say you get an Ethereal sword with Star Effect EI.
Oh man, just what I wanted.
But then you look at the Grace bonus and find out it's Shunatsuhiko. Despair appears on your face. Except, you're reminded that Ethereals are reforgeable, happiness shines bright on your face, blinding everyone, so you take that sword to the blacksmith and reforge on Futsunushi, and then your face becomes Exodia. So, you see, if Grace of bonuses were reforgeable, you can turn any Grace of into the Grace you were looking for. I honestly think this is the best option in revitalizing people to play the game again, me included, and just in general makes the experience of building builds more fun and a faster process. The only problems with this option are you have to have a gear piece you want in ethereal form, and this means you have to farm for old set bonuses like you do now. You may say, why not both? And that's a good question. Team Ninja, why not both? But if I can only choose one, I say the second option is the best. I'm 99% sure Team Ninja or Koei Tecmo wouldn't ever watch this video, so as a community, our only hope of Ethereals ever getting changed are to spread the word somehow and make them know we're upset about it. They have been decent with fixing issues with the game. An example would be the Meta change they did for missions over level 500 a few days after the second DLC hit, so hopefully my voice is heard through this video, or hopefully your voices are heard through spreading the word and causing a riot. Seriously, this problem is so bad that I honestly think I'm done with the game, guys. Unless a patch hits or the next DLC hits, I don't want to play this game anymore. I literally haven't touched the game in a week, and it's all because of the RNG grindfest Ethereals have caused. So I just wanted to update you guys on the reason why I haven't uploaded a build video since Perfect Susanoo. I worked on an Omnia build, I couldn't get the exact Ethereals I wanted in a reasonable time, but overall it was trash anyways and a waste of my time, so don't bother with Omnia, just a warning. I then changed gears and tried for an axe build, only to be met with the same grind and hit a harder wall of not being able to get the range Ethereals I needed to complete the sets I wanted to use. Hours, days, I'm done with it. I'm sure there's people who still enjoy the game in Way of the Wise, just playing the game or co-oping, but personally, my fun I have with the game at all anymore is thinking of, testing, and making various builds for this YouTube channel and for y'all to enjoy, and Ethereals just screw the fun up in that process. There's also a lot of general problems with the games and DLCs. We could be here all day talking about them, but I think Ethereals are the main one to focus on right now for the people who are even still playing this game at all, and the ones who are buying the DLC. So, I don't know. Maybe I need some time to cool my head down, but as of right now, don't expect any build or Nioh videos from me anytime soon until Ethereals are fixed or a major patch hits that changes things or adds stuff. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching and hearing me out. I know it's a bit gloomy, but I'm just not having fun with the game right now, and you shouldn't waste your life on something you don't enjoy, so yeah. Anyways, if you agree with my sentiments, leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the whole situation. Are you guys still having fun with the game despite Ethereals? Do you agree with the potential fixes I suggested? Are you going to link this video to Team Ninja? Sound off in the comments below.
And subscribe for,
I'm an octopus!